And we're live. Welcome to the Rican show. And today, no guests, but have a lot of stuff to talk about. Hopefully, um, depending who comes on, I'll may have some listeners on at the end of the show, depending who wants to come on and talk. But anyways, well, let's get started. As you can see from the title of the show, it's leave the kids alone. And as a father, with everything that's going on right now, this is the something that's just near and dear to my heart about what's going on right now because it's really bad. It's really bad with people are what's going on is people are digging into their trenches, making this a political issue. Okay. And it shouldn't be a political issue. Protecting children shouldn't be a political issue. And maybe I'll go. I wasn't planning to maybe talk about the gun control and all that stuff, but in probably will end up going a little bit into it. But I'm going to start with this clip that I saw that's been making the rounds because I kind of basically kind of feel how she feels. So I'm gonna play a little clip from this. Might pause this so like that I don't get too many. So we'll end up having to uh, protect this as fair use.
The thing. I'm a parent. I'm a parent all day. I get to decide what happens in my child's life. Not you, not the government, not anybody. I don't co-parent. I had this child. I'm responsible for this child. Anything happens to little Johnny, you're calling me. Right?
That's exactly how every parent should feel. Uh, it's our job. We send our kids to school to learn, not to be indoctrinated, but to learn to read, to write, math, science, not to be indoctrinated into gender ideology. But let's keep going. Like I said, I'm going to stop. Maybe make it stop a couple more times. So bear with me. I just don't want to have to deal with a strike.
As you should. Right. So what I'm saying, hang on. So what I'm saying now is, if I don't want my child giving lap dances at school by a drag queen, I don't want it done.
Right.
That's happening.
But do you think the state should have the right? Do you think the state should have the right to
I'm talking about as a parent.
Well,
And you see how this weasel comes along and tries to make it about the government when obviously he's on the other side, and the left are not the party of small government.
Parent, forget the state. I'm a parent.
lap dances.
This is my child.
I'm not
I will make a decision
I'm
about
not
what happens with my child.
I'm not sure lap dances.
And this is great because she's gonna burn Bill Maher for being uninformed.
Happening. Don't you see it?
There's drag queen story. There are definitely drag queens reading to children.
There are drag queens that are doing pole dances. There are drag queens that are
In school?
You
What?
Bill, you gotta read more.
Which, so for people who are watching this, and if you're on the left and you come across this, here's the story. Drag queen performs lap dance on student and gyrates in front of cheering children at Pride event for high schoolers in North Carolina. And let me see if the video comes up. Let me see. Sorry. Let's see. I don't think they show the video on here, but maybe I'll go to Libs of TikTok and I could probably show the video. But here's a lap dance. Here's the drag queen. Here's the child. Okay. Maybe it might be better not to show the video because, you heard people getting strikes on their channel from YouTube because of showing, videos in protest of what these people are doing. So here's an image. Does this look appropriate to be in high school? You tell me, because if I was a parent, I'd be in there getting people fired. Every single staff, administrative staff, every single teacher involved with this, I'd get them fired. Now, the left is going to say, "Oh, but this is not every school. It's not. It's not going on across the country." You know what? One is enough, because that's where it starts. You give them an inch, they take a mile, and that's what's going on with, you know. Oh, we just want equal rights. We just want equal rights. Well, guess what? No, now you're going from we just want equal rights to you're going to accept everything we do, or you're a fascist, racist, bigot, homophobe, transphobe, whatever phobe. That's how it goes. That's how they shut you. That's how they shut you up. They shut you up by telling you, "Oh, hey, if you don't agree with this, it's look, listen, I've been to drag shows. They're entertaining. They're fun for adults. It's adult entertainment. It's not children entertainment." And what they want to do is blur the lines between parents. They want to blur the lines for kids, parents, and their children when it comes to school. The schools aren't their parents. We are. And we can't sit by idly and watch people indoctrinate our children. They are too young to be learning this nonsense. I'm going to go to this next, because this is the one. Here's another video. Let's see if I can make this bigger. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, Twitter. Twitter sometimes acts up with their videos. Let's see if
Today, I wanted to introduce you to a new friend in our class. This Huckle.
Okay, YouTube. Twitter's gonna. It's not letting me show it full screen. Let me see. I'm gonna see if I take myself off so you can see a little bit. Change layout. So can you see this a little bit more? Let's see. Okay, let's try. At least you could just listen. If you can't see too well, just listen to see so you can hear what's going on.
This is my friend Nash.
And just so you can understand, if you're someone that's listening and not watching, this is a bunch of maybe kindergarten, pre-kindergarten to kindergarten. Oh, it goes here. It says it here in the story. A teacher used 4 to 5 year olds. So yeah, pre-K to kindergarten.
In our class, they're just looking around at all of you, and they're so curious to know who you all are. Today was fun. It was really interesting, though, going in, being like, I don't know what questions kiddos are going to have or what they're going to say. They can be boys.
Here we go. I don't care to hear her speech about it.
And the friend likes to ask the question, are you a boy or a girl? And Nash answers, I'm just a kid.
But kids can be boys or
They can be boys or girls. Yeah.
Or maybe non-binary.
Yeah.
It was just like non-binary. Yeah, that's just something that we
Child. Just like me. So Nash, just like me, is non-binary. So they aren't sure if they're a boy or a girl. So when people ask them, are you a boy or a girl? Right now they just feel like saying, I'm a kid. They're figuring it out.
Why does he like stars?
They like stars.
They like stars.
Yeah.
And this is what's going on. I will say this. If your kids are learning this, take them out of that school. Find another school for them. This is ridiculous. Um, Thank you, Macy. I saw follow you on Instagram. Keep it. Thank you. This stuff. This is like I said. If you missed the beginning, I said as a parent, this stuff just irks me. It's what drives me, especially this gender ideology nonsense. Let me see some of her comments here. LGBT people, we know queer shows for adult now only, not age appropriate. I am lesbian and all the 50 need pit drag show for okay. Why is a teacher having preschoolers learn about a made-up word, non-binary? She needs to be fired. Not appropriate. 100%. I 100% agree, Macy. I go, if you are non-binary, gender dysphoria, you're not well enough to teach. You're not well enough to be teaching children, especially preschool children. It's okay, Macy. I'm hard. It happens to all of us. But let me show you another video. This is not just the only one I pulled up. I pulled up another one here. Is this it here? Just make sure it's the right video because video of teacher using non-binary doll. Oh, here it goes. And here's the whole thing. This lady here. Okay, this was this one. But there was no this. So this is where I got that video from. Okay, here is woke California teacher who identifies as trans demi boy non-binary. Non-binary is teaching kids about gender and pronouns using gender fluid stuffed unicorn narwhal. So yeah, if a teacher looks like this, yeah, take your kids out of that change classrooms, or at worst change classrooms, at best take the kids out of that classroom, because this teacher is not teaching, they're indoctrinating. Here it goes with this nonsense with the pronouns, and here goes her Instagram. I mean, right, was it looks like she posted on Instagram and Twitter, so let's see. Oh, great. It's taking me to Instagram. It's going to take a second to load up, even though that's not what I wanted to do. Because I definitely don't want to be. I'm definitely. Well, maybe I might follow just so I could see what crazy. Because you sometimes have to follow so you can see what crazy things these people are doing.
Okay, I'm going to go over a lesson I do with my elementary students. This lesson is super easy to do, and it's something that you can just continue throughout the entire year when it comes to respecting other people's pronouns. So I went to amaze.org and we watched a video there on pronouns and how to respect each other's pronouns. It does a great job of talking about pronouns and really breaking down how they are not connected to gender, but more about personal preference and identity and how they can change. We then created this anchor chart together describing pronouns. And all the language on the bottom as well as in blue, the students came up with on their own. And then prior to this, we also read some books around pronouns. And of course, it is Queer History Month, so we are talking about queer history. And then I started talking about Norbert the Narwhal. We've already introduced Norbert, who uses they, them pronouns, and we practice making mistakes with their pronouns, as well as correcting. This is a lesson that you can implement tomorrow or at any point during the year. Have a good day.
Like I said, I'm going to follow because, see, unlike the left, I follow these things because we need to know what the crazy. This is the crazy thing about it. If this is the stuff they're posting online, imagine the stuff that they don't post online that they do. Could you imagine that? Let me see some of these comments. Creative Mind says, the link I attached is based out of the UK. Parents are okay with these shows because it allows them to have a night out in London. No need to find a babysitter. Bring the baby with you. It's sickening. 100% agree. They ain't no way I'm bringing my daughter with me to go see a show like that. Even my son's special needs, I wouldn't take him to do that. I wouldn't take him to that. Macy says, I get hate from the LGBTQIA2S plus community because want, because I want kids to be left alone and talk to teenagers and adult about my lifestyle because I was openly lesbian in the ninth grade. I am an adult, called homophobic and transphobic. California is my favorite favorite state. Some laws are silly and some laws are. I wasn't done with the sentence yet. No, Macy, it's I'm not surprised that you get hate from the LGBT, and I'm not going to go into all of that. I'll go with the standard LGBT, okay? Because here's the whole thing. Honestly, okay, you're either lesbian, bi, gay, or trans. All this other made up nonsense is bullshit. Okay. If you're a male and you want to be female, you're trans. Then you'll be a trans woman. If you're a female who wants to be a male, then you're a trans male. Okay. You don't become a male and go, hey, I want to be one of these 1,000 other genders. No, it doesn't work like that. If you have to physically, if you have to get all these surgeries to be another sex, then there's only two sexes. Like I said, you don't see someone, yeah, you'll see someone being wanting to be a furry or a fairy folk or whatever nonsense I've heard out there. Okay. I remember watching an episode of Grey's Anatomy where a guy made himself out to look like a cat. Okay. And what ended up happening? That guy said he was miserable because everybody was scared of him. Because they're like, what kind of weirdo does this? Exactly. You're a human being. Okay. I feel bad, you know, there's other issues. The majority of the time, these people with gender dysphoria, they have depression. They have, and it's not because people don't accept them. Because here's the problem. Why acceptance of the LGBT community is going down? It's not because, let's say, people are less accepting of trans people. It's because the crazies in this community are trying to go after the kids. If they left the kids alone, you see what's going on with all, pushing these pronouns, pushing gender ideology onto the children. It's making people less accepting of that community. Okay, if you stop trying to push this on kids, people are going to leave you alone. Macy says, I'm part of the LGBT community and not part of the, the plus community. I support gays against groomers and they're doing awesome. I agree with you. I've had a few members from Gays Against Groomers on. Um, I've had, and here's the whole thing, people will dismiss me. Anyone on the right, like, I'm called the right Rican, but I've had Buck Angel, who's a trans man. I've had Laura, who is a trans female. I've had Magay, who's a lesbian. I've had Mario Presents, who's a gay man. I've had all these people on to have a conversation about this, and they all are in agreement when it comes to pushing this stuff on children. Children they're not ready to hear this stuff because it's nuanced. There's, their minds aren't ready to grasp these concepts. All you're doing is you're not teaching them acceptance, you're indoctrinating them. And like I said, the whole thing about it is it's not about rights now. It's about you're gonna accept what we want you to do, what you want us. Let me start this again. You want us to be. We don't want you to accept us just because we're gay. We want you to we want you to accept everything we do. So it's like, look, listen, you got people who you have like gay men who all they do is hookup culture, and then you have gay men who are in long-term committed relationships. Same thing with lesbians. It's, human beings, we are all diverse. Just because you're gay, just because you're black, just because you're Latino, just because you're white, that doesn't define who you are. Your color, your sexuality, that doesn't define who you are. I'm a progressive conservative lesbian and got family and friends are left and right and don't get into politics. Macy, when I hit the half an hour mark, when I finish most of the stories, are you interested in coming on to talk? Because I have to. I think it's gonna take some fishing out of the whole progressive conservative, because that just seems like contradictory right there. So if you're interested, I'll send you an invite. There's no more talking to kids about the birds and the bees. Now it's about genders. Macy, all I'm going to do is when I finish the stories, I'm going to post a link, and all you have to do is click on the link. And if you're watching on your phone or something, you'll pop up. You can either choose to put you can either choose to show yourself or just talk like if you're calling into a talk show. All right, let's keep going here. Let me try to get these rest of these stories I wanted to bring up, because here's a story. Let's see. Let me close some of these windows so like that it's not so slow. Okay, I went through this one. Okay, no. So I want to show you some of the consequences that what happens to people who speak out. Look at J.K. Rowling. They call her a TERF, a trans exclusionary radical feminist, because she wants to protect women's spaces. Here's a guy, okay? Here's a guy. You got to be careful. If you have kids around, there's cursing in here. So hold up. Let me hide this real quick. Once again, let me make this bigger. Let me try to make this bigger. Okay. I I just want you to see this, what goes on. This guy just has a sign that says what it says. It says, I think it says children cannot be are not born to the wrong body, something like that. This is what he said. He's not screaming or nothing. You'll watch. He's being interviewed when this happens.
I mean, it's clearly was aggressive violence.
You suck. You suck. Fuck you. Fuck you. You're not wanted. Fuck you. You're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking.
I don't know what to say. I guess these police officers are mostly indoctrinated as well. They're afraid of the mob. I think they're afraid that if they do anything to actually keep law and order, that they'll end up being on the end of this verbal abuse. So it's just cowardice from everybody all around.
People probably want to know, how do you keep your composure?
What's that?
How do you keep your composure?
Fuck you. 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 Hey, get your fucking ass on there.
So I forgot to find the video, but they said that was a mutual fight, and the cop said he instigated it by just being there. He instigated it. Okay, and now this was in Canada. Okay, our neighbor to the north, but it happens here in America. Look at the difference between what happened on let's say January 6th okay, versus May 29th of the Summer of Love, when they set fire, when BLM and Antifa people set fire to the church, okay, and nothing happened to them. But January 6 people, they throw the book at them. There's people in jail who haven't had a trial yet and are in solitary confinement 2 years later. That's un-American. Anyways, tangent there. One more video. This also happened. I think this happened in like New Zealand or something like that. But here, these are the consequences when you go against the mob. Let me see if this is not Twitter, so I might be able to make this bigger. Let's see. Okay, that looks a little bit better. Let me take myself out of it so you can see it better. Maybe that'll make it bigger. Excuse me. Let's see. No, oh, come on. Okay, I'm gonna try to make it a little bit bigger. Let's see. Can I do? No, I want to do full screen. No, mini player, AirPlay, full screen. Let's see. Does that make it better? Or make it worse? No, I can't. For some reason, freaking StreamYard sometimes. All right. Let's just press play real quick. You're gonna see it's gonna come up. This lady is coming to speak at an event about women's rights, if I'm not mistaken, and a trans activist attacks her. All right. So this is what happens, okay, when you speak out against. This is what happens when you speak out against the mob. Macy says, I'm a Black American Puerto Rican woman. Don't support Black Lives Matter. Don't get you in trouble with YouTube. Be very careful. That movement is bad, not good. Oh, I know. I've done videos before. The one good thing is I may be a light-skinned Puerto Rican, but I'm still Puerto Rican. And in the summer, okay, you'll see if you watch me in the summer, I won't be so white anymore. it's just we're at the end of winter, we're in the beginning of spring, and I lose my tan. I'm not in the sun. So let's see. Okay, here. Copy. Okay, Macy, here you go. Here is the link for you could just click on that StreamYard link, and you'll be able to first you'll pop in. You won't pop on my screen. I'll first have to add you into the stream. So while you figure that out, let me close some of this stuff out. But this is why I said, leave the kids alone. Look, listen, we all have our opinions. We all have people want to protect the children, and they'll talk about gun control. But what about taking away someone's right is protecting children? When you there was a crazy video with a congressperson where he's there talking about, screaming at someone saying, well, why don't we arm teachers? Well, we're not saying teachers have to be armed, but give the teachers the option. If you trust them to teach your children and be with them every day, wouldn't you trust them to protect your kids in the event that some crazy goes to shoot up a school? Even the trans shooter, she had 2 targets, and one of the targets that she was going to go after, they had armed security, so she went with the one that didn't. Let me try again. Hold up. Let's see if I could. Macy, send me a message on Instagram, and I'll reply with the link. maybe that'll make it easier. Let me open up my Instagram. Instagram. Okay, I apologize for the silence. Let me just keep talking. Um, uh, India R price. Okay, let me look you up. India, India R price. Oh, okay. Oh, wait a minute. Is this the right one? Oh, great. Um, excuse me. Okay, India, I am sending you the message now. So I sent you on Instagram. You could click on the link and let me know. Let me know if you're having any issues. If not, then maybe the other way might. If it doesn't work that way, then I have one other idea. Oh, there you go. Hello?
Oh, hello. Can you hear
Hello.
me?
Yes, I can. Welcome to the show.
Oh, welcome to the show. This is new. This is really cool.
Yeah, sometimes I like when I don't have like a guest on, I'll do this like I like to have sometimes the viewers on just so like that we can have a conversation. And um I was just curious because you said about the whole that you consider yourself a progressive conservative.
Oh, yes.
So you have to explain that to me because that just seems like it's at odds.
Well, I am on the right, but certain things I don't agree with the rights are doing sometimes.
Okay. But
Mm,
doesn't necessarily mean you're a progressive because I'm like for example, like abortion. I'm I'm pro-choice, but I'm pro-choice with restrictions. Like I don't think
mm,
like New York has a law you can have an abortion up to the point of birth. I think that's ridiculous.
mm. I don't really get into that topic, but I know that only females can get an abortion and get pregnant.
No, I just use that as an example of,
Oh, yeah.
where I'm, on the right, they're like, no
Mm,
abortions. And I'm like, no, I'm like, you know what?
mm,
Choice, but like I said, 3 months I think is more than enough time to decide if you
mm.
want to have a baby or not.
Of course, but yeah,
Up
but I
to
feel
birth.
like no, but I feel like there's so many. I'm from the U.S. There's like so many ways that you can avoid getting pregnant to get a protected sex.
Yes, no, I agree with that. I mean, there's so many different birth control, so many different forms of, yeah, there's so many different forms other than having an abortion. It's like
Mm,
and they're not expensive. It's not like you know you could go to your clinic, your local clinic, and get birth control.
Yeah, I just think the U.S. needs to help them out some more if they are getting pregnant, help them with some resources so they can be stable to have a child and at their home and apartment.
Oh yeah, they
Mm,
are what they call pregnancy crisis centers that do stuff like that.
okay, yeah, I just think there's other options, but I don't really get into that topic as much. But I know my friends do, my
I
family
was
do.
just using that as an example where like
Yeah.
I differ from the right where
Mm,
uh some people are like that. Like for example, gay marriage. I'm
mm.
for it. I'm perfectly fine as long as the state doesn't try to make churches perform gay marriages.
Yeah, that's the only thing I have problems with trying to sue the bakery because it goes against what their beliefs are. It's like leave the bakery alone, go to the next one.
Exactly. Like there's tons of other bakeries there that will bake your cake.
But instead, they try to take you to court and say, "Well, this guy's mean."
Yeah, exactly. I would go. That's why I said it's not about rights anymore. It's about you have to accept us, and it's like I could
Mhm.
treat you. You know, there's a difference between acceptance and tolerance. They used to say, "Oh,
Mhm.
tolerance, tolerance." Tolerance doesn't mean accepting.
Mhm. Yeah, because what we really an original, we just wanted the right to get married, and now the other community is now taking over, and they have the biggest voices.
Yeah, the saying goes, "The squeaky wheel gets the grease."
Yeah, the one who wants to take the alphabet. That's not what we are trying to do.
No, I mean, and the whole thing about it is like, I talk about it on my show. My best friend of 30 years is a lesbian. My kids call her Titi.
Yeah.
So it's not like, they could, you know, do that whole homophobic to me and it'll be like, yeah, go say that somewhere else. Cause, you know, like I said, my best friend who my kids call Titi, it's not one of those, I have a friend who's gay. No, I don't have a friend who's gay. I have a friend who's gay who's my kids call her Titi. And for
Mhm.
the non Spanish speaking people, that means aunt.
Mhm. I know a little bit of Spanish when I listen to music. I know a little bit of Spanish, so I know a little bit what you're saying.
Yeah. So the Titi is just Spanish for aunt.
Mhm.
So it's
Yeah.
like that's what they call that's what my
Mhm.
kids call her
Mhm.
because we've known each other. I'm 44 and we've been friends for 30 years.
Oh, awesome. Mhm.
So
For the
yeah.
yeah, for the LGBT community, we know not everything is homophobic and transphobic.
Well, for the most part, I mean, you have these crazies
Yeah,
now that everything is, like I said, I showed the picture of the drag queen at a high school, doing a lap dance to a kid. I'm like,
that's
that's not,
inappropriate.
no, yeah, exactly. It's highly inappropriate. And it's like, come on. This is
Mhm.
what's setting the LGBT community backwards is
Because
stuff like
yeah,
this.
Mhm. Because all you're banning books. No, we're banning the books that are graphic sexual books. That's the book we're banning, trying to
Yeah.
ban.
It's like I took out gender queer because I
Yeah, that
refused to
book
buy
scared
it.
me.
I
That book
refused to
scared me.
buy it, but we borrowed it from the library. They only had one
Mhm.
copy, and I saw the pictures in it. I'm like, they want this in elementary schools? Are
Yeah,
you
yeah, that book
serious?
scared me.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is scary. It's like
Mhm.
you're talking about a person who was, if this is her real life story, her parents abused her because not giving her proper hygiene, not giving her
Mhm.
pads or anything like that to deal with her menstruation. She
Mhm.
was abused.
Well, because people are, oh, you're banning books. No, they're not banning the books that show a single parent or two parent trick or treating with the kid. That's not the books they're banning.
Yeah. No, it's like there's a reason why these books are being banned. And this is the whole thing.
Mhm.
And what annoys me about it being, they called it being banned. It's like you could go to a public library and get the book. You
Mhm.
just can't get the book at your kids at your school at the school library because
I
those are not appropriate materials for kids.
I know the one book was buying on the word, the R word, the sexual assault. They're buying on that
Yeah.
word, and they had it in the school
Yeah. I mean,
with
what
with
was
with
that?
the, with the father and the daughter. Like, that's inappropriate.
Yeah. And I saw one, there was one, I forgot who wrote the book. It's called The GABCs.
Yeah, that is. I like to write to myself. I just don't like books that are like highly inappropriate for children in schools.
Yeah. And I was just
It's not appropriate.
no. I'm like, that's stuff that, like I said earlier in the show, I said kids are easily influenced at that age, and that's the whole crux of my of what I've been saying with the show is, since a lot of people on the left aren't having kids, and so they want to have your kids, you know
Mm,
they want to have the other people's kids because they're not having their own.
Yeah, I personally don't want to have any kids, but I know some people rain on people's parade for motherhood. They don't rain on their parade because they want to have motherhood. I just personally don't want any children.
No, like my best friend. My best friend never wanted kids. Never from an early age, she never wanted kids. But you know what? She's great with my kids. She may
Yeah.
not want her own kids, but that doesn't mean she hates kids. She just didn't feel kids were for her.
Mhm. And I know the one teacher was getting applauded by one of the school members trying to talk about gender queer or gender identity in school for children. Like that's not appropriate. It's only two genders.
Uh, to me, yeah, I mean, to me, the whole thing about non-binary is an excuse. It's like, look, gender. I could accept more gender fluidity before they say non-binary because it'd be like, okay, sometimes you feel like a nut and sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
you know, sometimes you feel like a girl and sometimes you don't. Okay, well, to each their own. But this whole thing of teaching kids, well, you're not a boy, you're not a girl. No, don't teach that to the kids because all you're doing is confusing the hell out of them.
Yeah, like the one time I almost didn't get to see an R-rated movie when I was like 16 because it wasn't appropriate. But like a 12-year-old can get a double vasectomy, but I can't watch the movie. And then she gave us the tickets.
Yeah, kid, they want to allow kids to get, let's say, gender affirming care,
Hmm.
and I'll always do it that way with the quotation
Yeah.
marks, without parental consent, but they can't get a tattoo without parental consent.
Yeah, for me, I feel like not all LGBT people use cisgender, but I don't have a problem with the word. But I just think they have to wait until they're 18 first.
Well, I found out the guy who invented the term cisgender
Hmm.
was a pedophile.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I wasn't sure about that one, but
I,
I
I
do use cisgender on my Instagram and stuff.
Yeah, no, I after hearing the guy's story, it was like, and especially if you hear about the guy who invented gender ideology, he's a fucking sicko. Excuse me for. It's like
Oh, yeah, yeah.
he
Mhm.
abused, like he basically used like twins, and he turned one transsexual and the other one not. So he raised one as a girl and one as a boy, and they ended up both killing each other, killing themselves
Oh,
because
wow.
he screwed them up in the head.
Mm. Well, this is true for some of them, not all of them. Like, I never dealt with this, but I know some LGBT people dealt with trauma in the past, so that's why they switched to LGBT. Not everybody does that, but some of them do that, so they feel more
Yeah.
comfortable. Mhm.
So where are you? Were you in? Are you here in New York? Are you in New York too, or you said
Oh,
California?
oh no, California is my favorite state because
Oh,
I'm on here. I'm gonna say I'm from the U.S.
okay. Okay.
I'm gonna say I'm from the U.S.
Okay.
Mhm.
I respect that. Trust me, I know. I got um people. So one time I was gonna do. So I did someone's show last week, and they put my full name, and I'm like, no, 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 don't put my full name out there. You could
Mhm.
call me Carlos, and you could call me the right Rican, but don't put my whole name out there
Mhm.
because I don't want some crazy looking me up, and you know, I don't live. I live in a state where you come on my property, I could shoot you.
Mhm. So yes, for Dylan Humani, that TikToker.
Oh, Dylan Mulvaney, yeah,
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 yeah.
crazy guy.
The real trans people have gender euphoria. He's making money off of playing a
Yeah,
transgender woman.
yeah,
He's making millions off of it.
he's doing female cosplay. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, and now he's on Bud Light, the beer. I think it's the best tasting beer, and he's on a commercial.
Yeah, I heard he's doing that. I heard it hasn't been confirmed yet, but if it gets confirmed, yeah, that's. I mean, I don't know what the hell Budweiser is. Who the hell Budweiser thinks drinks? Everybody drinks beer, but
I like Bud Light a little bit more than other beers.
I like which is some I saw. Michelob Ultra is a Budweiser beer, and
Mhm.
so is was this Stella Artois?
That doesn't ring a bell.
Well, yeah. Sometimes they just sell it. You just ask for a Stella, and that's
Oh, okay.
Stellas are. It's a good beer, but
Mm.
it's a Belgian beer, I think. But it's owned by it's the same. They're all the same company because
Oh, okay.
one company makes all these different. So Budweiser it's like
Oh,
Bacardi. Like Bacardi owns. Is it Bacardi owns? What's the tequila brand? Bacardi owns. It's gonna come to me.
mm.
Oh, shoot, is it Don Julio? I think it's Don Julio or can't remember. And they also own a whiskey called Doors. So,
Oh, okay.
so it's or better example is like Colgate. Colgate makes like Colgate toothpaste. They make soap. Like
Oh, cool.
Palmolive soap is a Colgate company. So you got one company owns all these different things.
Mm.
But
I don't like tequila 'cause it's too strong, but I do like rum.
are you guys sponsoring them?
Oh no! Hold on, hold on. We
No,
don't
we're not.
want no.
No,
We don't
no,
want to
no.
get copyrighted.
We're not sponsoring them. No, we're just
Mm.
critiquing this story here. Let's see if I could bring up that story real quick.
Do you
Um,
know how to react to other videos like I'm trying to do? 'Cause I can't figure it out.
react to other videos.
Yeah, like on my YouTube channel, I'm trying to
Uh,
react to other videos, but I just can't figure it out.
I don't know when you mean like you mean what how to like pick up your channel. You mean how to pick up your viewers?
No, because other YouTubers they would have the video in the background, pause it, also react to it, and go back to it.
Oh, like how I was doing before?
Yeah, and I just can't figure out how to do it on my
Because
YouTube channel.
because you can't do it. Wait, if you're just streaming straight onto YouTube, you can't do it.
Oh, okay.
You need a program to do it.
Oh, okay. I was trying to do that. I was like, I don't know how to do it.
No, all you need to do is like I have StreamYard, so that's why you see like the link on the bottom there, where I have
Oh, okay.
the scrolling thing. That's just
Cool.
something that goes. So like where someone made a comment, like where Creative Minds made the comment, I could show it, or I could show something else, like somebody else's, like you put here, like the link isn't. So I control what I could put onto the screen. So it's
Oh,
called
okay, cool.
they got a
Mhm.
bunch of different programs. Like I use
Oh, awesome.
StreamYard. I think there's Restream. There's OBS is free, but it's hard. Like
Okay.
I try using OBS, but it's really hard to.
Mm.
It's not user friendly. You have to be really, really computer savvy in order to
Uh,
use OBS.
mm. Well, you know what's really funny is seeing both sides trying to make the argument why this has been TikTok. It is really fun to see.
It's fun to see what.
Both sides trying to make an argument why this has been TikTok.
Oh well, I'm totally against that. I'm I'm against TikTok. I do not have TikTok, but I'm against that whole Restrict Act because what's going to happen is kind of like the Patriot Act after 9/11. Now the Patriot Act is used against everybody, not just the terrorists.
Mm.
What's going to
Mm.
happen is with the Restrict Act, it's is targeting TikTok, but they're going to use it on whoever's the political power. So when it's the left, they're going to want to attack Rumble, and when the right's in power, let's say they're going to want to attack YouTube.
Mm.
So I'm against restriction,
Mm.
free speech restriction.
Yeah, I am on like TikTok. And TikTok is the reason why I got a lot of followers on my YouTube channel. But it should be banned on government phones and work
No,
phones.
well, that's different story. If you use it on your own, because the problem is it is invasive software. So if you're using it on a government computer, you could be it could uh, break into your government computer and access sensitive information.
Oh,
That's
okay.
why that's why I won't have that's why I don't put YouTube on my phone either. Like people send me links, and people always trying to ask me to join TikTok, and I'm like, no, no. But anyways, I'm going on. I'm about to cut the show off because it's been on for an hour. So thank you
Hmm.
for coming on, and thank you for watching.
Yeah, yeah. No, for this first time me doing this, it is really fun, and I hope I maybe see you down the line.
Yeah, no, it is fun. I hate the shows where I have to talk to the camera. I prefer the shows where I get to talk to people.
Yeah, yeah. This is really fun.
All right. Well, you have a good night
You do too.
whatever part of the country you're in.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Oh, bye.
Let me just let me read one comment here. The Restrict Act will basically screw over both sides. I'm going to be honest that the government shouldn't be doing the parents' job at all. Totally agree. Totally agree. I'll leave it here with this. The Restrict Act, like I said, I will compare it to the Patriot Act after 9/11. We don't want this because at the end of the day, it gives the government power over speech. If you see how the left is freaking out over Elon Musk and his acquisition of Twitter, um, that's what's going on. They'll use that Restrict Act. The right wants to use it to because they want to they want to protect against TikTok. But what's going to happen is the left will end up using it and attack Twitter because Elon Musk owns it now. They're going to attack Rumble because, let's say Rumble is one of the owners is a Canadian, and they'll go after Getter because Getter has like part Chinese ownership also, except that it's a private Chinese citizen. It's not uh government. So, anyways, I'm gonna leave it there. Uh, Macy, thank you again. Yes, it was fun. I like I said, I like to interact with the viewers. Shiny's been on before; he knows creative minds also. So, thank you for watching, everyone. Um, Next week, I did. Oh, let me see. Next week, I'm going to have on a guest for people. I'm gonna bring up their profile. Uh, Her name is Teaching Liberty, and she has some. She does a show on YouTube and Rumble. I think she does it more. I think she does the live stream on Rumble. But I know she posts her videos. She posts her videos on YouTube, and she posts her videos on Instagram. I'm going to bring up her Instagram page for everyone to see. Present. Sorry, excuse me. Come on. That was a bad look where it froze. Let's try this again. Screen share. Screen share. Window. Here we go. So I'll be having on Stephanie Edmonds of Teaching Liberty. Here's her page right here, and she'll be on next week. Hopefully nothing comes up and we'll be able to have it on. So that being said, have a good week, everyone. It's Easter, so hope you guys have a good Easter, because I won't be back on till Easter Monday. So that being said, have a good one, everyone.